In this hymn playing tip video, we are going to look at creative endings for congregational accompaniment. And even if you're creating an improv on a song and you're playing it as a special, ways to end that hymn. Check this out. As we jump into part 2 of our endings for playing congregational hymns, and even you can use these endings for playing specials in church. Maybe you're just playing a solo. These are great ways to improvise on a solo and add these endings to a hymn. So we're going to jump back into some more bigger endings. This first one we're going to look at, we're going to deal with the root of our one chord, which is G. And then we're also going to look at the 5 of that one chord, which is D. So to play this one, our right hand is going to play the root chord. And then in a triplet, we're going to jump up to the 5 of that chord, which is D. And we're going to fill in a G and an A, which makes this chord a D sus chord. Okay, so we're going to play 1, and then we're going to do triplets, and then we're going to leap up to that root. And that left hand, I just leaped it up to the chord and back down, or the left hand could do something like this. We could also take that up the octave. And notice there, when my left hand went up with the chord, I finished out the chord and then came down. Another option. And left hand can just go down in chord. So there's multiple ways that we can kind of mix and match those ideas. The next one, we're just going to deal with the chord tones. So if we have a G chord, my chord tones are G, B, D. That's all we're going to deal with in this one. We're not going to add any seconds. We're not going to change any of these chords. And we're going to do what we call a unison melody. So if I'm playing this G chord, a unison melody is going to be something where I go up and maybe my right hand plays a D as an octave, and I'm not going to fill the chord in, and my left hand will play a single note D. So we're unison. And we have 3 different tones and 3 different octaves. Now here's how this one's going to work. We're going to play that last note, that last chord, and we're going to immediately be in a triplet. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. And you can come down with it in any inversion you want, completely dependent on you. Now, while my right hand is doing the 1 and 2 and my left hand, so we'll hit that octave, and now we're going to go together 1 and 2 and we'll come up here, hitting that chord and down. This next one we're going to do is a fun ending, and it's a little bit more dramatic, so you want to make sure when you're throwing this in a hymn that it really matches the style. But this is coming down in an octave in both hands. And again, we're going to use that same idea of unison melody. So if this is the case, we end on this G chord. And then I'm going to go up in my right hand, an octave, and come down in a G scale. And depending on how much time I have, I might need to add some extra notes. So if you notice there, I went back up and came back down. Now, whatever my right hand does, my left hand is going to do it. So it might sound something like this. And we're going to do triplets. 1 and 2 and 3 and da. Or we could do maybe even a little faster and start the triplet right away. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and notice there, because I started the triplet right away, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I didn't want to land on that chord, that final chord too soon, so I had to add to it. Now we can also tweak that into some faster rhythms, maybe even 16th notes if you want to. And if you do 16ths, you might even have to lengthen that scale a little bit longer to make that work. If this video has helped you, Please like it, share it with others, and let us know. If you're looking for more resources as a church pianist, we have several available, including our hymn playing workbooks 1 and 2, which will help guide you in your hymn playing journey, as well as workbooks that deal with chord substitutions, key changes, and more. Check that out at newmerciesmusic.com.